boys and girls, we're going to start by singing a song this morning. I'm going to sing, I'm going to shout. Make sure you do the motions. I'm gonna sing, sing, sing. I'm gonna shout, shout, shout. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna shout and praise the Lord. And when those gates are open wide, I'm gonna sit by Jesus' side. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna shout and praise the Lord. I'm gonna clap, clap, clap. I'm gonna snap, snap, snap. I'm gonna clap, I'm gonna snap and praise the Lord. And when those gates are open wide, I'm gonna sit by Jesus' side. I'm gonna clap, I'm gonna snap and praise the Lord. I'm gonna zoom, zoom, zoom up to my room, room, room. I'm gonna zoom up to my room and praise the Lord. And when those gates are open wide, I'm gonna sit by Jesus' side. I'm gonna zoom up to my room and praise the Lord. All right, I hope y'all have enjoyed this song so far. I got a fun one playing for you this morning with Pete, the Peter Peppered Pickle Parrot bottom feeder. Mr. Pickle Parrot. Pete! Hey, Pete!
What?
Are you going to come out?
What?
No, come out.
What do you want?
You to come out.
What?
Come out.
Why?
Because we're on camera.
What?
And you're supposed to be out here with me.
What's a camera?
The thing that records us every week.
Can I do my special intro?
Well, maybe. What's your special intro?
I'm an Indian parrot. Woohoo!
What? You're an Indian parrot? I thought you were, like, from the rainforest.
Can't you see how my hair is specially done? Because I'm an Indian parrot.
Specially done hair makes you an Indian parrot.
Yes.
Let me fix your legs
Also,
this week.
you need to. Yes, please, please, and thank you. Oh. Yes, my legs are very sore this week.
Why is that?
Because I've been sitting around.
So your legs get sore just from sitting around?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
I've had to use my beak to grab branches.
You had to use your beak to grab. Why don't you just fly?
Because my arms are very weak.
Why are they weak?
Because they just sit around.
So because you just sit around, you get tired just from sitting around?
Yeah.
I know some people like that.
I
They're
just
pretty
have
lazy.
bones.
You just have bones.
Yep.
So
See,
you-
I'm just like.
Okay. You really know you're not an Indian though, right?
No, but I'm an Indian parrot.
I thought you were the Bookie Bookie bird.
No. I am Peter, the pickled pepper pickin' parrot Indian.
Oh, so we got Indian on there now. That's not
Yes,
a P word
it's
though.
my new title.
Oh, your new title. So I got to introduce you that way every week?
Yep.
Well, that's
Unless I change it.
Unless you change it, then
Yep.
how am I going to know?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay. Hey, I got a question for you. Okay, did you know that animals can talk?
Of course, I am an animal and I'm
well.
talking.
Well, I forgot about that. You're just such a good friend that I forget sometimes you're a parrot.
Well, I wonder what goes on in that head of yours.
My head?
Yes.
Have you seen your head lately?
Maybe it's your brain, but
I don't even think you can, which eye do I look at?
the left one.
The left one's... Okay.
Always.
I will always look at the left
That
eye.
is my right eye.
No, that is your left
This
eye.
is my right eye.
This is your left
That's
eye.
on your left.
Yeah, so your left eye is
This
your...
is my left eye.
How am I supposed to look at your left eye if I'm
Because-
sitting over here? I gotta do like this.
Yes, you do it very carefully.
I really don't know which eye to pick, though. You keep changing it. How am I supposed to look at one particular
I
eye?
said look at my left eye.
I'm trying, but you keep moving your left. There we go. That's freaky. Please don't do that. That's scary. That's okay, but see.
Fine,
now-
I will allow you for this session only to look at my right eye.
Perfect. Okay, let's get back on topic about
Okay.
the animal that talked.
Oh,
Besides you, you know there was another one.
really?
Yeah, it was in the Bible.
What's his name?
The animal?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it had a name. I was gonna ask you if you knew the name.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't even know the story at all?
I'm not sure.
Oh. Well, I guess we can't really talk about it then if you don't know the name of the animal, because I forgot.
Well, can you refresh my memory?
I think it might start with a B.
A bee?
No, maybe not. Maybe not a B. Hold on. I gotta think.
What, the animal's name?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta think. I don't think the animal had a name. Maybe it was just an unnamed animal.
Okay.
So I can't tell you the name of the animal.
Well,
He's
okay.
not special like you.
What? What? Okay.
You are special, so.
I try to be.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back on track. So there was this animal that talked in the Bible. It was a donkey. Are you familiar with donkeys?
Oh, yes. Yes, they're very interesting animals.
How are they interesting animals?
Because they will kick you in the face. Actually, in the beak several times.
You've been kicked in the face by a donkey?
Yes.
How many?
I actually bit his foot off, but
You bit a foot. It was a gummy one, wasn't it?
yeah, well, you know me.
Apparently, very well, because you bit off a gummy bear. Where'd you find a gummy bear donkey?
It's not a gummy bear donkey. It's a gummy donkey.
Where'd you find a gummy donkey?
At the store.
At the store.
Of course, the parrot store.
I've got
They
something
have all kind
special
of gummy
for you.
animals.
I've got something special for you this morning, though.
What?
Since you're always talking about gummies, I brought you some gummies this morning. I thought you might enjoy them.
Really? What? Hey, what are you doing?
These are really good
I need
gummies.
some gummies. Ooh.
These are
I can
just-
smell them.
These are sweet gummies.
I'm gonna think.
These are sweet gummies. These are the best kind of gummies you can have. I love this gummy. You
Are
want to
you
try them?
actually being this nice to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a gummy.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
So I
Are
need
you
you to come
sure?
out. Yeah, it's a gummy. It's a good gummy.
What kind of gummy is it? Is it a gummy snake? Because I hate snakes.
No, it's a sweet gummy.
Is it a gummy spider? Because I don't like spiders either.
It's a sweet gummy.
It's a sweet gummy.
Yeah,
What's in it?
gum.
That's weird.
Well,
Just like you.
I'm not. You're weird. Come on, get.
I'm just kidding.
Don't bite my beak.
Oh. Ah! Whoa, that's really sour. What in the world is this?
It's a sweet gummy.
It's a sweet. No, that's a sour gummy.
No, you don't know. You're.
Oh man, what
you're-
is that called? It looks like what kind of animal is this?
I don't think it's an animal.
Oh man, one bite and my beak almost falls off. Dude!
Is it that sour?
Yeah!
I don't think so. Let
I
me try.
never have sour ones!
Sours are the best ones.
What?
Watch.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, you make that face!
I'm not making a face.
Where'd your eyeballs go? Oh, well, there they are.
I have my eyeballs.
See, my eyeballs will literally pop out of their sockets!
Yeah, they look like they already have.
Yeah, I know!
You must have had a lot of sour gummies.
Yeah.
Um,
One time, me and my friend Jimmy, we ate a whole bag!
a whole bag?
Yeah!
Wow.
The worst idea ever!
That explains your eyeballs then.
Yeah! They've never gone back!
That's sad.
Yep.
Well. So anyway, we got off track again about this donkey.
That was your fault.
Was it? I
Can
think
you
it
help?
was your
Can
fault.
you? Can you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you?
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Perfect. There we
Thank
go.
you.
Okay. So there was this donkey that talked. Do you not remember the story at all?
Oh, yeah. Kinda.
Can you elaborate?
Well, there was this donkey that talked.
Yeah, a little more than that. Like, what else happened?
Well, he talked.
Well, yeah, he did, but why did he talk? Your leg's a little. You look a little scrunched right there.
Sorry.
You get a little pooch.
Yeah, been eating too many tacos.
Apparently. So why did this donkey talk?
Well, because Balaam, who owned him, was being really not very smart.
Not very smart. Why was that?
Because he was trying to do something that he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He was trying to do something he wasn't supposed to. God had already told him to not go where he was going. And so he starts off down this road, right, with the donkey, and the donkey's just walking, just being a donkey.
Yeah, it's donkey.
I'm just moseying
Donkey,
along.
donkey.
No, donkey.
Eehaw.
Okay, we don't need sound effects of a donkey. You're a parrot.
Man, I can do other things too.
I don't want to know
I could
right
be a
now.
giraffe.
No, we don't need to know that right now. So anyway, he's
I
walking.
could be a penguin.
No, that's
I
not.
could- what?
That's not what a penguin makes.
Oh, well, let's make something like that. I could be a fish. I could be a whale.
You're not Dory.
What?
You're not Dory.
Who's Dory?
That's another time for another story. Anyway, he's walking with the donkey's walking down the path, and he's taking Balaam where he's not supposed to go. I don't think that's the right name. I think it's Balak.
It's
Balaam.
It's Balaam.
Balaam?
I'm pretty sure it's Balaam.
I think you said Balak.
Balak was the other guy.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I misspoke. So he's taking him down the road, and all of a sudden he just stops. Do you know why? He just stops.
I don't know.
Because there was this massive angel with the sword drawn in the path. So the donkey just kind of tries to mosey on this direction, and Balaam hits him. So he moseys a little bit more and stops again. You know why?
Because of the angel?
Yeah, there was an angel. It was there again.
That's crazy.
So he changed paths again, and this time he gets in a really tight spot. And as he's walking, he crushes Balaam's foot, and he stops again. You know why he stopped this time?
Because he crushed Balaam's foot?
No, because there was an angel was there again.
Oh!
And then,
Of course.
Then what happened? You know what happened after that, right?
The donkey talked?
He talked. Could you imagine what it was like to see a donkey talk?
Well, kinda.
It's kind of scary.
Because I talk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of pretty crazy.
It is. It's a crazy thought to think about a donkey, a real life donkey, actually talking to you. That would be so weird. But you know why it happened?
Because he was really smart?
I don't think that's why. I don't think it had nothing to do with donkey. I think it had everything to do with one person in particular.
Who?
God. Because God had told Balaam what not to do, and he was going against God, and so God intervened once again and told the donkey to speak, and the donkey spoke. And Balaam's attitude changed after that, because that'd be kind of scary.
Yeah.
Have a
If
donkey
I
talk.
was Balaam, I would be like, whoa!
Right? I would be like, whoa, too.
Give me some sour gummies, man!
Yeah, it's like he had a bunch of sour gummies in his
Yeah.
mouth. He probably was like, whoa, wait, what? It's probably crazy.
Did his eyeballs pop out?
I don't think that's part of the story.
No.
I
I think they might have.
I think that's conjecture.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Well, at least we got to talk about the donkey this week, so that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the kids will have learned something about our donkey interaction.
Donkey Kong who?
No, not Donkey
Oh,
Kong. That's
what?
a game.
Oh, yeah. What was the donkey's name?
It doesn't have a name. We talked about this already.
I think his name is Henry.
Henry?
Yeah.
Henry? That's
Yeah.
the best you can do is Henry?
Yep.
I don't
Probably. Or maybe that's the name of his baby tooth.
I don't think his name was Henry.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
think it was Jeff.
Jeff
Jeff the donkey.
the donkey.
Yeah. I think his name was Jeff.
I'm actually surprised
Why?
because I thought you could do better.
You didn't do much better.
Henry's a great name.
Who is named Henry?
You know Thomas the Tank Engine?
Who?
You know Thomas the Tank Engine?
Thomas the Tank
You don't know Thomas the Tank Engine?
I know who Thomas the Train
Yes,
is, but the tank engine?
Yeah,
who?
they call him Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, he's Thomas the Train.
Uh,
You don't even know.
his friend's name is Henry.
Which friend?
His green friend.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to leave it up to the kids, and they'll have to tell me, and I can tell you if you're
Yeah,
right.
kids, tell Jonathan that the green train's name is Henry.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Also, that Henry is a good donkey name.
No, Jeff is a better donkey name. For sure.
Well, since I overrule,
Jeff. You don't overrule. You can't even fly. How do you get over anything?
I will bite your head off right
You know
now.
what? I think it's time for you to go back to
You know what?
resting.
Fight me.
I don't want to fight you.
Give me the gummies then.
They're too sour for you.
What?
You already said that. Look at your
No.
eyes. They're popping out
Give
of
me
your
some
head
gummies.
already.
Gummies.
All right, last one, and then you got to go.
What?
You got to go. We got
I
to
need
do
some
the lesson.
for later.
No, you just need one. You know what?
How many fingers are missing? Oh, bummer.
All of them are still here. It's time for you to go.
Bye, baby girls.
Pete. Bye.
Good morning, kiddos. This morning we're going to be reading in Daniel chapter 5. I'm going to skip around a little bit. but I'm first going to start through verses 1 through 8, and then we'll skip down to verses 13. Belteshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, whilst he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessel that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines drank in them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold, and of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, Whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. We're going to skip down to verse 13. Then was Daniel brought in before the king, and the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou that Daniel which art of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jewry? I have even heard of thee that the king of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, and they should read the writing, and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they cannot show the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard of thee, that thou canst make interpretations, and dissolve doubts. Now if thou canst read the writing, and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shalt be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another, yet I will read the writing unto the king, and make it known to him the interpretation. Skip to verse 25. And this is the writing that was written, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Paris, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar the king of the Chaldeans slain, and Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
All right, guys, I hope y'all have had a fun time this morning with our story and with Miss Paige reading our lesson, and then the bird and myself doing our usual thing. But we're going to get into the lesson this morning. As Miss Paige read from Daniel chapter 5, we're talking about Belteshazzar and his big party. So the king of the current kingdom decides he's going to throw this massive party, and everybody comes. Imagine holding a big party and like all of your friends are there. Everybody's there. And they're having a good time. They're doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. And the king says, you know what? Bring out the Lord's cups. Bring out the stuff from the temple that was supposed to be holy. See, the stuff that he brings out is part of the stuff that the Babylonians took from Jerusalem out of the temple that Solomon had built. So the king decides he's going to defile that stuff by putting wicked stuff they're going to drink. They're going to do stuff that they're not supposed to do with these dishes. So he gets them and he brings them out, and they start having a good time, and they're having a blast, and all of a sudden there's just this hand and writing's on the wall. Like all of a sudden just a hand. And it just starts spelling out words. That'd be pretty scary. These people were scared. Could you imagine being in the room and all of a sudden like, there's just a hand and it's writing. And nobody knows what it means. Like it's just writing and they're like, oh. Can you imagine all the whispers? Like, what did you see that? What is that? Like everybody rubbing their eyes, making sure they're seeing it correctly. I wonder if somebody reached up and actually touched the hand. I bet they were too scared. They're all scared to death. They don't know what to do. So the king's mom says, there's a guy who can interpret it. I know him. His name is Daniel. Now, we've talked about Daniel before. Daniel in the lion's den more specifically. But Daniel was well known in the kingdom. Daniel served right under Belteshazzar's dad as one of his go-to people. He was also, you'll find out later, that he was in the kingdom to come. But Daniel's nowhere to be found at this party. Rightfully so. We know that Daniel has a great testimony. We learned that a few weeks ago, how Daniel's testimony upheld. Even when it was faced with the lion's den, Daniel didn't waver. And again, you find Daniel doing what Daniel's supposed to be doing. Daniel doing what's right. And the king calls him and says, come here. So Daniel walks in, and I can't even describe what Daniel probably thought when he saw the writing on the wall. Like, I bet it was in shock for him, but he knew exactly what it said because because God had blessed him and he was right. He was always doing, when we find him in the Bible, he was always doing what he was supposed to be doing. I've actually been studying Daniel a lot in my personal reading about how he learned and got visions and God just spoke with him in a unique way. Daniel was a special guy. Daniel was somebody that God calls beloved. You're beloved, and you find out in a few later chapters that's what God calls him. So anyway, Daniel walks into the room and there's this writing on the wall, and Belshazzar is like, if you can read this to me, I'll make you third in the kingdom and you'll have all these riches and everything. And Daniel's really like, I don't really need that, but he does it anyway, and he starts reading off what it says. It says that your kingdom's going to be gone and somebody else is going to be in charge. Can you imagine what that did to Belshazzar? Like, I'm out? Daniel's like, yeah, you're out. You're done. Your time here is over, buddy. You have lost the kingdom because of what you've done. You've been a wicked king. You've not upheld what you know to be right, and you've done wrong. So he loses it all that night, all because of his actions. His actions spoke very highly of how he was, of his character. Daniel's actions spoke very highly of his character. Daniel's actions reflected a man of God, a person who was trusting God, who was always faithful with God. I love the phrase about Daniel that Daniel purposed in his heart. That's something that every one of us needs to get a hold of at the quickest point in our lives that we can, is to purpose in our heart to do what is right. Not to defile ourselves, not to do what's wrong, not to mess up, but to do what's right. To purpose that every morning when we get up, we're going to do what's right. And Daniel was one of those people. Daniel was one of those people that every morning he got up and he purposed to do what was right, what was correct, what was godly. That was always going through Daniel's mind. How can I be right today? What can I do today to serve God? Was going through Daniel's mind at all time. And you see the contrast there in the story of how Daniel was acting. Daniel, you can see that through the book of Daniel, how Daniel acted. And on this particular night, you can see the contrast between Daniel and the people he was surrounded with. You know, a lot of people say that your surroundings define you. Who you hang out with, who you are around, define you. And that is true to some extent. The people that you call your friends, you have to be careful of who your friends are. You have to choose right and godly and Christian friends. But Daniel was in a place where he was the oddball. He was the weird one because he did trust God. He did believe God. He did do what was right. And that was okay. That was right of him. God blesses him for doing what's right. I can promise you this, there's going to be times in your lives coming forward where you're going to have to make a stand to do what's right. To purpose that I'm going to do what's right. No matter what, I'm going to do what's right. Something that everybody at some point in their life faces. A moment where they have a choice. Do I do what I want to do, or do I do what's right? Do I do what I know is the correct thing, is a biblical thing, is the godly thing, or do I do what my own flesh wants to do? A lot of times that's a battle we face every day, but I'm not talking about the everyday battle. I'm talking about there's going to come a point in your life when people have their eyes on you and you're going to have to make a choice. Do I do what's right, or do I fall by the wayside? Too many people fall by the wayside. I am thankful for a person in the Bible who didn't fall by the wayside. You never find that with Daniel. He was always faithful. He had purposed to do what was right, and he set his heart to do it, and he did it. He purposed and followed it all the way through. Please, if you will do anything, purpose to do what's right. Purpose to be a young person that does what's right, that does the correct things, that stands for truth, stands for right, that's godly. Be a person like that. Don't be a person like you find Belteshazzar right then, who's doing wicked stuff, who's messing up, who's doing the wrong things. The difference in the two men is like the difference between snow and summer. Like, they're completely different. You don't find snow in summer. It just doesn't happen. The difference between Daniel and Belteshazzar are exactly that. They are polar opposites. They're on the opposite side of everything because of the way that they live their lives. So don't be like Belteshazzar. Don't be the one that's doing the wrong, that has to have somebody come in and correct it. Be the one that's being like Daniel, who's doing what's right, who gets asked the things. Why does stuff happen the way that it happened to you? Well, you can answer it honestly, because God is in my life, because I serve God. I serve a Savior who is loving, who is kind, who is gracious beyond any words that can describe him. So please, I hope you take from that story that we're not going to be Belteshazzar, we're going to be Daniel this week. And we look forward to seeing y'all in the morning service in just a few minutes, and we love y'all.